All right, so I got a letter from a viewer, and she was describing to me how she was a little bit worried about flirting or being too flirtatious when she communicates with men, thinking that that might contribute to the struggle that she's having. And I thought, I'm going to make a video series on that.
What do I say?
These are the top 10 mistakes.
The top 10 mistakes that women make when communicating with men in the workplace. Walks too fast.
So you'll notice that especially small women, they're clipping along, because they have to keep up with everybody and their legs have to move faster. They might have to take, like my mother, for example, she's a clinical dwarf. She has to take 2 steps for every 1 step I take because I'm normal height. So I'd like you to note the difference in these 2 styles, okay? I'm going to be a person walking by. I hope this works out. Okay, that's person number 1. Here's person number 2. Okay, did you notice the difference? When you walk quickly, it can sometimes send the message that you're not comfortable being where you are. When you walk slowly and deliberately, however, that will always send a message, maybe on a subconscious level, maybe on a more conscious level, that you feel as though you have dominion here. This is where you belong. You rule this roost, and you're going to walk slowly and deliberately. Number 2.
Swinging her hips.
Oh, yeah.
Foxy lady. Ooh. That's right. Oh, yeah. Don't sit in that walk.
The average man does not swivel his hips or swish when he walks. Some do. That's a whole different series. So think about now coming into the room, walking more deliberately and walking dead on without swiveling your hips, without swishing when you walk. Number 3.
Rolls her eyes.
Don't roll your eyes. God. Men who communicate in the traditional way that men tend to communicate don't roll their eyes. Their eyes really don't go around like that at all. That's something that a woman does. So watch your language. Watch what you are communicating with your eyes, because more than one of these top 10 mistakes has to do with your eyes. Women are much more generally expressive with their eyes than a man is. Learn to deliver the Ice Queen stare. The Ice Queen stare is your lids are covering the top of your iris and you're just staring forward. Your lids blink like a normal person's would. As opposed to some people who have lots of mascara on, or if you have like fake eyelashes on and you have things on your eyes that actually make you blink more. Don't do that.
Number 4.
Tilts her head.
Don't tilt your head. You will notice that men don't communicate like this, especially not at work. So what I recommend doing is keeping a mirror around where you can see how often you really do tilt your head while you're on the phone, while you're talking to other people, because remember that instinctive body language that we don't need to be told how to interpret, that we are born knowing how to interpret, are things such as head tilts forward, head tilts to the side. Just like dogs, you'll notice that when a dog is saying to you, I'm not here to hurt you, I'm not threatening right now, they tilt their heads to the side. When they are saying to you, I am a threat right now, that's when the head tilts forward. So many women have picked up this trait and they're sending a message all the time. Don't be afraid of me, I'm a damsel in distress. Don't send that signal.
Number 5. Grooms herself.
Grooming should always be done in the restroom or at home. Not when nobody's looking at your desk, not when you think that no one's around or you're in private. It should be done in the restroom or in your home. Because if you do that and people see it, whether it was intentional or not that they see it, people will think on a subconscious or conscious level, you are there to do something other than work.
Number 6. Eyes too wide.
Don't open your eyes too wide. Don't do that. Okay, that's another thing that you'll notice men tend not to do is open up their eyes too wide for many different reasons. And I have met many younger women generally who are aggressive, they're new in the workforce, and they're trying to really show people that they're there for business, that they mean business. And so when they talk to people, they'll stare them down like this, and it gets really creepy. So remember, don't show the whole iris of your eye. Cover the iris a little bit with your lids. Give them the Ice Queen stare. And the Ice Queen stare, that's something that Maggie gives. My Springer Spaniel Maggie, she is the mighty hunter. She is the mistress. You don't mess with Maggie. She will eat you. You want to send a message. I might not be biting you now. I could eat you. And you do that with your eyes.
Number 7. Smile too much.
Many times you will see women smiling a lot, and it's kind of as if they are apologizing for being there or for asking for things that the request that they're making or the fact that they're there. Stop smiling.
Number 8. Wears bracelets.
Don't wear bracelets. When a woman goes to shake a man's hand, even if she has the handshake of the good old boys club, and again, I'm not making a judgment, I'm just saying there's a difference. Even if you have the right handshake, if as they shake your hand, there's a jingle, jangle, bingle, bangle going on there, that's what they will remember. So keep the accessories to a minimum at work and don't wear bracelets.
Let's see, 9. Talks facing men.
Make sure to stand or sit side by side when you're communicating with the people that you'd like to influence. Remember, women tend to communicate head-on, face-to-face, shoulders to shoulders. Men tend to communicate side by side, which is why you will see men as they talk to one another, as they walk up and say hello to one another. We will, once we get up into the personal space area, turn to the side and we will start communicating like this. Hey Joe, how's this? Oh yeah, Bob, what do you think of this? And we will line up. Women tend to form a circle. Men line up shoulder to shoulder, side by side, and that's how they will communicate. That's how we will communicate. So when you want to facilitate communication and get people to open up, it takes some of the aggression away, and especially if you worry about being labeled something, as other than aggressive, like
such
women, make sure that that's something you always try to implement when you can, when you're talking with men. Stand side by side. Don't face them. That's too aggressive. Remember, when dogs come at one another face to face, that's a signal that there is a high probability of an aggressive situation to follow.
And 10. Doesn't lean in.
When asking a question, now we'll be getting into more specific things about tone and words in our next lesson. We're going to have a few different videos on the subject of women communicating with men in the workplace, and specifically how to style step and speak the language of men. Speaking of different ways to style step, we have a new course at Dan O'Connor Training about speaking the 5 different languages of respect and appreciation and apologies and gratitude at work. We also have some live classes coming up, so make sure to click the link in the description below so that you can check that out. Especially how a lot of women tend to end things with a question, no matter what they're saying. So don't do that. But also remember, when you want to powerfully ask questions and to increase the odds that you will get more information than the average person would when asking the same question, remember, you ask questions with your whole body. First of all, stop crossing your legs, especially if at the same time you are crossing your toes around your ankles. That is a pageant stance. Unless you're going to a beauty pageant, do not sit that way.
And here she is, Miss Objectified. Here she is, Miss Objectified. Oh my gosh.
And when you are asking questions and you're sitting face to face with somebody, if you're in an information gathering session, especially is what I'm talking about, you want to lean in. When would you want to lean in? Before, while, or after you ask the question? What do you think? That's a good one, Dan. I know it is. That's a good question. Most people don't know the answer to that. I know. I'm seeing if they do. The answer is ask the question, then lean in when you're finished and wait for the answer. Most people do just the opposite. They will ask a question. If they're going to shift their posture at all, they'll ask a question and then lean back and cross their arms. Don't do that. In our next video, we'll be talking more about verbal and nonverbal communication signals that you can send that say, I'm speaking your language. so we can now connect. If you haven't done so yet, stop by Dan O'Connor Training and you'll get your free communication starter kit. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Also, like, share, and comment on this video. Let me know what questions you may have and what different series you might like to see in the future. So thanks for stopping by my channel. Make sure to subscribe here. This is Dan O'Connor. I'll see you in the next lesson. I'm signing off.